I'm Chef Heartburn, and this is From the Love of Food. Today, we're going to be making one of my childhood favorites, Aunt Versie's cheesy eggs. I remember growing up, staying the night at my Aunt Versie's house, playing all night. She always had all the cool stuff, the sweetest lady in the world. I remember waking up to the smell of bacon, toast, grits, sausage, and her world famous cheesy eggs. And she doesn't know this, but I used to watch her make them, and I picked up a little thing or two in the time watching her. Now, if only I can get her to give me a recipe to her dressing. So, first off, we're gonna start with 3 whole eggs. You can do more depending on how many people you're feeding. And crack those eggs. Alright, if you're doing a bunch of eggs, it's best to have a second bowl, maybe crack 2 in this bowl, make sure there's no shells in it, pour it into another bowl, crack a couple more eggs. That way you don't end up with, let's say, 10 cracked eggs and you're trying to dig a shell out. Now, if for some reason you do end up with a shell in your eggs, just keep the other half of one of these eggshells, and scoop it right on out. Alright, I have to adjust the camera for you so you can see it a little better. I didn't tell you the ingredients I had beforehand, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know now. I have 3 eggs, a little over a pinch of cheese. You can add more, you can add less, depending on how cheesy you like them. I got just a little bit of milk. It helps make them a little bit more creamy and stay real nice and moist. And then I got some butter. I've cracked my 3 eggs. I'm going to add my cheese, a little bit of milk, and some salt. I don't use black pepper in my eggs. The reason why is the black specks from the black pepper shows up in your eggs, and it doesn't give it a nice clean yellow look that we're looking for. If you do like pepper, maybe just some white pepper. If you really don't care about the appearance of your eggs and you're not trying to impress anybody, it's okay. Put black pepper in it. I don't. Alright, so we got our eggs, we've got our milk in there, a little salt, and our cheese. We're gonna beat that up. Till it's all mixed evenly. This is a very important part of the process. You want to make sure that the egg yolks and the egg whites are fully incorporated, because we want a nice yellow finished product. If you don't beat them up good enough, you'll end up with those little white parts and white specks. Alright, so that's nice and beaten up pretty good. I got my stove over on low. I'm going to add this butter to it, and I'm going to show you how to make those cheesy eggs. Alright, we got our skillet warm, our butter's melted. I got my fire on a medium low, almost just a little bit over simmer. Alright, before you add your eggs, you definitely want to make sure that your pan is not smoking hot. You want a nice warm pan, because you don't want to add the eggs in when it's real hot and it's going to immediately start to seize up and cook, and that's not what we want. We want to take our time and stir it and show these eggs some love, so we don't end up with those big, dried, like you ever go to like an IHOP or a place that they're just turning eggs out all day, and your eggs look all dry and like just one piece of egg, ours is gonna look like real small curds, almost like a grits, and it's gonna be nice and creamy and fluffy. And I'll show you when we get there. But my pan is warm, not hot. I'm gonna add the eggs in. Now, the key to Aunt Versie's cheesy eggs is 1, cheese, plenty of butter, and time. You want to cook these eggs really low and slow. All right. So once you got the eggs in the pan, get you a nice spatula, and you just want to stir it up. Now, cooking them slow keeps your eggs from sticking all to the bottom of the pan, makes your cleanup a lot easier. Cooking them slow gives that time for the cheese to melt and fully incorporate with the eggs. Adding the milk in gives it helps it give it a little fluffiness, and it also helps keep them moist. So this whole process takes about 3 to 4 minutes, but it's well worth it for the end result. They're gonna be nice and yellow and fluffy. I can't wait. So as you're going, you notice it's not really cooking through and through. You can turn the stove up just a little bit, but you still don't want it up too high. It's better to start these eggs in a cooler pan and gradually work your way up than to start them in a hot pan. So starting to come together. This is where it's really important to kind of make sure that scoop the sides and keep them moving around. Every now and then, you can just let it sit for a second and let that bottom cook a little bit and then stir it some more. When you do your eggs like this, not only is it a better product, but the end result tastes better and it looks better. There's nothing like waking up to the smell of bacon and toast and sitting down to a table with your family and the eggs look like somebody took their time and showed love and really cared for them. This right here is what she would do. Now I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit more. She really took her time with the eggs, and it just made breakfast that much more special. Because when she cooks with love. All right. So it's getting close. When it starts getting close, you can kind of let it sit for a few seconds and then stir it. Let it sit for a few seconds, then stir it. Now, a lot of people mess up their eggs and overcook them because they leave them on the stove too long. Once your eggs are close, that pan's gonna have enough heat in it to finish cooking those eggs. So remember, when it gets close, take your eggs off. They'll stay nice and moist, fluffy and creamy. All right. Nice, fluffy, and creamy. The lighting's not very good in this spot right now, so it's kind of hard to see them. But we're about to plate them up and eat some of Versie's cheesy eggs. All right, let's plate these eggs. I got some toast with some strawberry jelly. Couple pieces of bacon. Aunt Versie's nice and fluffy cheesy eggs. Sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top. Serve it with some jelly. A glass of orange juice. And a yogurt parfait. You got yourself a breakfast of champions. I'm Chef Heartburn. This was from the love of food. And these were Aunt Versie's cheesy eggs.